BBC Podcast.
Time. I transcend into a new era, yet my soul remains here. The battlefield is radio, my weapon is talk. With this, I shall conquer the world. We are the Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai. Ha! Well, hello there, everyone.
Hello there, everyone. This program features warrior lords and foot soldiers connected to Nagoya who have been revived after 400 years. We are the Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai. Through historical trivia and storytelling, we bring you the history of Japan in an entertaining way in this historical variety show. The name of our program is Breaking News. It seems the warriors have started a radio show in the modern world, or BushiRaji for short.
Today's BushiRaji features from the Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai. I am Oda Nobunaga.
And I, Tokugawa Ieyasu.
And Tasuke here bringing it to you.
Yeah!
We are back.
We did it!
Well done.
It's been really long, hasn't it? 3.5 years since then.
Well, I suppose so.
In the past, CBC Radio, who took care of us with the program, Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai, Sengoku Otoemaki, has now once again brought us back to life with this program. How grateful we are.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, can you hear our voice?
Can you hear us?
I'm so frustrated that I can't confirm it. Let's go outside right now and check it out.
No. Well, this is what we call radio, so while we cannot hear directly right now, I believe many people are probably listening.
I see.
However, I, Tokugawa Ieyasu, do believe that our joy is being conveyed through this very voice.
That's right, indeed. Even at Nagoya Castle, there are quite a lot of people who say, I was listening to the radio, so when I think that we can reach those people again. You know?
Indeed, that's quite so. Now then, this program is also seeking yabumi, that is to say, messages from our listeners, recent happenings in your daily life, questions for us, consultations, anything at all will do. For emails, please use the mail form on our program's homepage. We're also waiting for posts on X. Use the Igeta, what's commonly called the hashtag BushiRaji, to tweet your reactions and thoughts about the program. We await your various yabumi.
Very well then, everyone. Let us march forth. All right, here's our first segment.
What day is it today? This segment is a feature where we explore historical events and commemorative days that occurred in the past during the week from last Saturday through today.
Tasuke, my boy, has anything noteworthy happened this past week?
Indeed, there are such events. Now let me present several of them here. First, on September 27th, 1556, the Battle of Ino. Next, on September 30th, 1571, Lord Oda Nobunaga set fire to Enryaku-ji Temple on Mount Hiei. And on October 1st, 1600, Lord Ishida Mitsunari was executed. These are the events that took place.
Oh, you've just named 3 battles that involve Tokugawa Jirozaburo Ieyasu and myself, Oda Nobunaga.
That is correct.
September 27th. 1556, the Battle of Ino. This was a battle against my younger brother, Nobuyuki. To put it simply, this province of Owari was split in 2, those who would support me as leader and those who would back my brother Nobuyuki to advance the politics of Owari. This discord led to what you might call a fraternal war, and by achieving victory in this battle, I seized real power. Thanks to the great efforts of Maeda Matazaemon Toshi, who is also part of our Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai, we achieved a splendid victory. If you were to ask Toshi about it, he'd probably go on about my military prowess this and that, strutting around with his chest puffed out, you know.
Indeed.
1571, the burning of Mount Hiei. Some of you might know about this. I'm perhaps famous for setting fire to these sacred places, temples and shrines, and waging war against them. But this wasn't simply because I was some kind of brute. It might be hard to imagine now, but back then Mount Hiei's Enryaku-ji Temple had enough power to wage wars and was heavily armed. They had large armies under their command, and their political interventions were so significant that which daimyo they sided with could change the entire political landscape. So when I requested that they remain neutral, they flatly refused, which left me with no choice but to go to war. It's not like I was the only one in the wrong here.
People in this world certainly say things like, oh, isn't Lord Nobunaga the one who burned down Enryaku-ji Temple on Mount Hiei?
No. There's this fellow called Kakujo, who's the head priest of Enryakuji Temple and the Tendaizasu. He's actually the half-brother of Emperor Ogimachi, who was ruling at the time. They had different mothers, you see. So he probably thought deep down, I could have been emperor myself, you know. And because of that, he was meddling quite heavily in court politics, so much so that even the court and the emperor had to tread carefully around him. So I went ahead and told him straight out, that's wrong. Mount Hiei's Enryakuji Temple still remains today, but when you ask why it's still there, well, it's actually thanks to Akechi Mitsuhide. Mitsuhide later governed the area between Mount Hiei's Enryakuji and the Shiga side. You see, Enryakuji straddles both Kyoto and Shiga, and he skillfully reorganized the Omishiga region, because he gathered only excellent, experienced monks who wouldn't engage in warfare to revive Enryakuji. This led to the temple that exists today. Actually, every year they hold memorial services for me, Oda, and on my death anniversary they say, today's Enryakuji exists thanks to Oda, because I eliminated the troublesome elements, you see. Well, I had you talk on and on like that just to defend myself. More importantly than that, Enryakuji Temple might be at fault, but the execution of Ishida Mitsunari in October 1600, that happened after my death, but for Tokugawa Jirozaburo Ieyasu, it was a momentous, truly momentous day indeed.
Absolutely. This decisive battle that would determine the fate of the nation, the Battle of Sekigahara, has been called the greatest war in all of Japanese history. And just how many forces gathered for this epic clash? A combined total of 170,000 troops from both the Eastern and Western armies.
70,000 troops?
Even I can only scrape together 50,000 at most, you know?
Thus, it became a great war that engulfed the entire nation. But this battle was actually settled in just one day. Now, those who know about warfare will likely understand this, but battles typically last for several months, and the major ones can go on for several years. However, this war was decided from early morning to afternoon, making it a rare battle in that sense as well. And some 10-odd days later, this Ishida Mitsunari was executed. To ensure that such warfare would never happen again, he was paraded through the streets of Osaka, and later his head was displayed at Rokujo River on this very day.
I hear that in the present day, Ishida Mitsunari is popular mainly among women.
Indeed. Led by Ishida Mitsunari, well, those executed on this day included Ankokuji Eke and Konishi Yukinaga, and other such prominent military commanders who played active roles in the Western Army. These were the ones who committed the most inexcusable acts. At the same time, they're the most popular.
I wonder why that is.
This is what you might call rooting for the underdog, I suppose. It's that feminine instinct to be drawn to the stories behind those who are weaker rather than those who are stronger.
I see. Sounds like only the good stories have survived.
Indeed.
There's an anecdote that says he was still thinking about ways to stay alive and escape right up until the moment before his execution. When Ishida Mitsunari was captured and said, "I'm thirsty, give me some water," the guard replied, "What are you asking for water for? You're about to die anyway." In our time, there was a culture of quenching one's thirst with fruits instead of water, so the soldier said, "I've got some dried persimmons on me right now. Would you like to put some in your mouth if that's all right?" But Mitsunari said, "Dried persimmons are bad for a dry throat, so no thanks." "Bad for your throat? Hey, you're about to die anyway." He's so popular that even ridiculous stories like this get told about him.
Well, when phlegm gets caught in your throat, the head won't come off cleanly. So even when dying, one wants to go out in a blaze of glory. That's the samurai way of thinking, you know.
I definitely don't think he said anything like that.
Is that really true?
I'm already dead, so I can say whatever I want now. I think he was pretty sad about it, yeah.
Indeed. What made him so unsamurai-like was that he fled and hid, only to be found in the mountains, where he's said to have lied, claiming, "I am not Ishida Mitsunari." That alone shows just how much he valued his life. I think he had a strong desire to see what the world would become afterward. By the way, Tasuke, who was the commander-in-chief of the Eastern Army?
This is Lord Tokugawa Ieyasu.
So then, who is the supreme commander of the Western Army?
It is Lord Moriterumoto.
Indeed, the Battle of Sekigahara, initiated by Ishida Mitsunari, who wasn't even the supreme commander, this does reveal certain aspects of his brilliance. Just recently, on September 15th, the very date when this Battle of Sekigahara took place, I, Tokugawa Ieyasu, was actually in Hiroshima for an event called the Battle of Sekigahara in Autumn, where I, Tokugawa Ieyasu, as the Eastern Army Commander, and Mori Terumoto, as the Western Army Commander, engaged in battle through oratory.
Oh, how was it?
The opponent will self-destruct. They'll self-destruct. In the end, I'll even find myself protecting Mori Terumoto.
So in the end, he can't win even in this world either.
Indeed, that is so. And because of such things, every single year, the Western Army folks get all worked up on something called social media, declaring this year will finally beat the Eastern Army. Right from the moment the Battle of Sekigahara begins, it's all, oh, Ieyasu, his head.
Oh, I've seen this before. In the world of X, there's someone who goes by the name Ishida Mitsunari. Every time that season comes around, he tweets Ieyasu in hiragana.
I have never once reacted to that.
You've got him beat there. You're really winning. I can't compete with that.
Well, that's how it is. Despite winning, I, Tokugawa Ieyasu, remain unpopular, while the Western Army has captured all the public favor. In this other battle, I'm utterly defeated.
No, that's not the case at all. Lord Ieyasu is still extremely popular even now.
Oh!
That concludes what day is today.
BushiRaji.
Now, from here on out, this is the podcast exclusive overtime round, which means this part won't actually be broadcast on the radio. Right from the first episode, I'm going to make you regret placing Oda Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu. This is going to be a long one.
What a terrifying episode this is.
If Tasuke doesn't wrap up his talking at a good stopping point, this is going to go on forever.
Understood.
I can't predict it either, you know.
That's right. Those in my camp listening to this might end up saying, isn't this over yet? Well then, shall we get right to it?
Now, let's proceed. Next up is... BushiRaji!
Now then, Tasuke, explain yourself.
This segment features us, the Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai, who have been revived from 400 years past, sharing historical trivia and fascinating facts from history. So then, today's trivia is this: words born from the sword. Among the many words commonly used in the modern world, there are actually quite a few that originated from swords. Most likely, many people living in today's world use these words without having the slightest idea of their true origins. Therefore, we'd like to introduce several of these expressions and reveal that their origins actually come from such sources.
Oh, Lord Nobunaga, that too is a word born from the sword.
Oh, really?
Right now you just gave me a reaction, huh? In other words, you gave me an aizuchi, didn't you? Actually, this aizuchi gets its name from the way blacksmiths strike their hammers when forging swords.
Ah, that clanging sound, clank, clank, clank.
Indeed it is.
But I can't understand it. You guys and I just, Soriga awanai. Whoa!
Soriga awanai!
In other words, Soriga awanai, meaning not getting along or incompatible. This is another expression stolen from the sword. You see, a sword has this curve called sori, and when you're sheathing it, if this sori doesn't align properly, the sword simply won't fit into the scabbard. That's where we get this expression for when people just don't mesh well together.
As expected of Lord Nobunaga, I, Tokugawa Ieyasu, am tachi uchi dekinai.
Whoa!
Tachi uchi dekina I... my Lord Generals, are you all right with this speed?
Tasuke, did you see me and Jiro Zaburo talking before we went on air? You didn't see it, did you? You didn't see it, yet we're doing this anyway.
Seriously, before this broadcast started, we weren't told a single thing. And here we are with absolutely no briefing whatsoever.
This is what I'm talking about.
Tachi uchi dekinai. In other words, it means no match for one's opponent. This tachi refers to the sword, and the expression tachi uchi dekinai comes from the idea that even if you strike with a sword, you still cannot match your opponent. So that's the kind of expression we have, you see. Lord Nobunaga was using such words just a moment ago as well, wasn't he?
Soriga awanai basically means something like incompatible or not a good match, I think.
When you're sheathing it, if the curve doesn't match properly, it won't sit right in there.
Right.
Speaking of things related to sheets, for example, moto saya ni modoru.
Oh, motosei ni modoru.
This refers to getting back together with someone you were previously involved with. And this expression too actually originated from the sword.
Settles back into place.
It returns to its original state, moto saya ni modoru.
What are you dawdling around for? Tasuke, hey you, yaki irete yaroka. Whoa!
Oh!
This yaki irete yaroka. You see, this is, well, the kind of thing a boss or senior colleague might say when they're giving someone under them a hard time. Yaki irete yaro, they'll say. This yaki-ar comes from the sword-making process, where to strengthen steel, you heat it up with fire, then plunge it into water with a hiss, and by repeating this process over and over, the blade becomes stronger and stronger. So essentially, yaki irete yaroka means, I'm going to make you stronger. It might actually have a good meaning at its core.
That's right.
I think the reason yaku, to burn grill, came to be used in such violent expressions is because the word burning itself conjures up images of something being extremely hot or painful.
In its true sense, it means, I'm about to give you a lecture, but don't let it break your spirit. Get back up on your feet.
Oh? That's actually what it is, isn't it?
Well, it's just that, actually, in terms of the relationship between a boss and subordinate...
Oh?
Well, I think there are probably many people who, Hibana wo chirasu as well, don't you think?
Hibana wo chirasu.
Well, my explanation was pretty terrible there.
There was a real strong let's do this vibe going on.
You shouldn't have been grinning like that before saying it. Like, I'm gonna say it.
I get it.
No. Well, this Hibana wo chirasu comes from the way sparks fly and scatter, when swords clash against each other with a clang during battle.
That's right.
I've heard that when people who don't get along or who are adversaries clash with each other, there's an expression, hibana wo chirasu, that's sometimes used.
That's right. There's a similar expression called shino giwo kezuru.
Shino giwo kezuru.
This one also has its origins in the way sword fighters would clash their blades together, the cutting edge against the spine of the blade, as they attacked and defended against each other.
How smoothly you explain things, Lord Nobunaga.
Yeah, exactly. Tanto chokunyu right there.
Tanto chokunyu.
This too, it's like drawing your sword and slashing directly at someone. That swift, clean-cut kind of thing, right?
That's quite right, indeed.
Exactly, so easy to understand.
The situation just before that was nukisashi naranu, you see.
Oh, wow. Nukisashi naranu.
Things have gotten to the point where we're completely stuck. Well, that's just how the situation is,
I see.
Does Tasuke have anything else?
Seppatsumaru.
Oh, that's exactly the situation we're in right now.
Oh, there it is.
Seppatsumaru. I'm afraid I don't have the confidence to explain this properly, but...
Seppa is, well, how should I put it? It's a component that adjusts the height of the sword's tsuba guard. You see, with swords, everything is made by different craftsmen. The scabbard, the blade itself, the handle, they're all made separately. And because you're putting all these parts together, there are bound to be some discrepancies. Anyone who handles swords would go, I see. But the sword can end up rattling around.
That's right, indeed.
In period dramas, when they draw their swords, you're not supposed to hear that clang sound. In reality, there are these thin iron fittings, metal pieces, that prevent that clanging noise. But if you overdo it with those fittings, you end up in a situation where you can't move forward or backward. You're completely stuck. That's why they called it Seppatsumaru. I just can't stop explaining, can I?
Ha ha ha. No, I would have loved to hear Tasuke's explanation too. It probably would have been Tonchinkan.
Oh, Tonchinkan. Is there something here too?
Exactly. When the swordsmiths were forging blades with their apprentices, there was this strange sound, and they thought, we can't cast properly like this.
The crisp clang, 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 clang sound I mentioned earlier would be fine. But if it goes ton, chin, kan instead, then something's not right. I had completely forgotten about that. Tokugawa Ieyasu's knowledge is truly origami tsuki indeed.
Oh, no way.
This origami tsuki thing, well, after I died, these swords started getting appraisers attached to them. Since we were constantly at war, we could feel firsthand just how sharp our prized blades were, but during the Edo period, there were no wars, so people couldn't tell. Is this sword really any good? Is it truly a masterpiece? So proper appraisers would write certificates on paper saying this is a masterpiece, and that's where the term origami tsuki came from. That's why you often hear things introduced as origami tsuki such and such, but it simply means that the item has properly verified origins and background.
Indeed, that's right. There are truly so many words that were born from the sword,
I imagine people in the modern world probably have this impression that battles were fought with swords going clang, 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 but quite a lot of folks have got it pretty wrong there.
What the heck?
To begin with, a lowly foot soldier like myself rarely has occasion to fight in battle using such swords, and instead mostly engages in combat through stone throwing or wielding long spears and such like.
So that's how you're making excuses, saying I don't use swords, so it's only natural I wouldn't know.
Yes, that is correct, and this is now my time for making excuses.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. When it comes to swords, simply put, they're difficult to use without proper training. For guys like Tasuke who just jumped into the fray, giving them swords would actually put them at a disadvantage. On the other hand, things you can easily grab anytime, like stones, or bladed weapons like spears with long shafts. If you just swing them around somewhat, you can keep your distance from the enemy, and even amateurs can use them effectively. That's why spears were the mainstream weapon.
Indeed, that is so.
After talking this much, will Bushibiya be okay from next time on?
That's true.
We're continuing on. We've still got about 400 years worth of stuff we want to talk about.
That concludes today's segment on words that originated from this sword. This has been Bushibiya, signing off.
BushiRaji.
From the Nagoya Omotenashi Busho-tai, Oda Nobunaga, and
I am Tokugawa Ieyasu.
This has been brought to you by Jingasa Tai Tasuke.
This is still just the first episode, so I've been told that this thing called a podcast is supposed to be a relaxed kind of broadcast where you don't have to worry about all those complicated little details.
hey, isn't Yabumi waiting too?
Indeed, that is so. This program also accepts Yabumi, that is to say, messages from our listeners, recent happenings in your daily life, questions for us old warriors, consultations, anything at all will do splendidly. For email, please use the mail form on our program's homepage. We also await your posts on X. Please attach the hashtag BushiRadio and tweet your reactions and thoughts about the program. We eagerly await your Yabumi, dear listeners.
Well, that's a wrap. So, we're supposed to do our traditional Toki no Koi chant from the very first episode. That's how it's planned out. Back in the day, on a show called Sengoku Oto Emaki, it was tradition to always end with Toki no Koi. This podcast can be listened to anytime, anywhere, right? So whether you're at work or wherever you are, when we do this Toki no Koi, I want you to stand up from your seat right there and join in with a big ooh, hoping that ooh, that Toki no Koi will ring out all around the world at this very moment. Let's wrap up with our traditional Toki no Koi. Together with us, toward a bright future. Now, let's march into battle!
Please, do come visit Nagoya Castle.